From a backup dancer in Hong Kong to the beloved little son of Taiwanese pop, Wallace Chung's rise was meteoric. He then conquered mainland China, becoming the undisputed king of television romance. But behind the perfect on-screen hero was a man navigating a world of intense scrutiny. His story is one of incredible success, shadowed by persistent rumors of a secret family and malicious attacks on his character. How did he manage a decades-long career at the top while maintaining an ironclad wall around his private life? This is the story of the man behind the myth. For more deep dives into the lives of your favorite stars, make sure to subscribe to the channel. In the early 1990s, the Hong Kong entertainment industry was a formidable machine, churning out stars with relentless efficiency. At the heart of this machine was the television network TVB, a kingmaker whose influence was felt all across Asia. For a young Wallace Chung, this was the starting point. But he wasn't a lead actor or a celebrated singer just yet. He was a dancer, one of many hopefuls moving in sync behind the era's biggest pop stars. The life of a TVB dancer was a grueling apprenticeship. It was a world of long hours, low pay, and anonymous effort, all performed under the bright, unforgiving lights of the studio. It was a training ground that demanded discipline and resilience, and while it offered a foot in the door of show business, it guaranteed nothing. Many started and ended their careers in the chorus line, their faces briefly glimpsed in the background of a music video or a variety show special. Wallace, with his sharp features and natural charisma, stood out. But a path forward was far from certain. He was a small gear in a massive engine, waiting for a chance to prove he could be more. That chance came not from his native Hong Kong, but from across the strait in Taiwan. In the mid-1990s, the Taiwanese pop music scene was experiencing a golden age. It was a vibrant, youth-oriented market, hungry for new faces and infectious melodies. A Taiwanese music producer saw in Wallace what TVB had overlooked: the raw material of a star. He saw a potent combination of a dancer's athletic grace and a boyish charm that could captivate a generation. An offer was made, and Wallace took a leap of faith, leaving the relative security of the Hong Kong system for the dynamic, if unpredictable, world of Mandopop in Taipei. The transformation was immediate and total. Shedding the anonymous background dancer persona, he was repackaged and launched as a solo artist. The industry didn't just want a singer, it wanted an idol. And so, Wallace Chung became the Little Son. This was more than a catchy nickname. It was a carefully crafted brand. The Little Son was everything bright, positive, and energetic. His music was driven by upbeat dance pop rhythms, his music videos were filled with dynamic choreography, and his public image was one of an ever-present, infectious smile. His debut album, Aurea, released in 1995, was an explosive success. The title track was a dance anthem that shot to the top of the charts and stayed there, its pulsing beat echoing from radios and in KTV clubs across the island. The public's response was feverish. Suddenly, Wallace Chung was everywhere. His face was on the cover of teen magazines, his posters adorned bedroom walls, and he was a constant, welcome guest on the most popular variety shows. He had struck gold. Taiwan had fallen in love with its new Little Son. He followed this stunning debut with a second hit album, By Your Side, later that same year. It cemented his status, proving he was not a one-hit wonder. For 2 years, he was crowned Taiwan's best idol, a testament to his overwhelming popularity. He was living the dream that thousands of young performers chased. He was a bona fide superstar. The fame was exhilarating, a whirlwind of fan adulation and industry praise that was a world away from the disciplined anonymity of the TVB dance troupe. Yet, even at the peak of his pop idol fame, there was an understanding that the sun cannot shine at full noon forever. The world of teen idols is notoriously fickle. Tastes change, new faces emerge, and the very youth that defines an idol eventually fades. A long-term career required something more substantial than a hit song and a charming smile. It required evolution. Recognizing this, Wallace began to carefully pivot, turning his attention toward acting. It was a natural progression, a well-trodden path for many pop stars looking to build a more enduring career. His initial forays into acting were strategic. He took roles in Taiwanese dramas and films that could capitalize on his existing fame. Often, he would not only act in a project, but also sing its theme song, creating a neat synergy that eased his audience into seeing him in a new light. He was no longer just the singer Wallace Chung. He was Wallace Chung, the actor, who also happened to sing the song You Couldn't Get Out of Your Head. These early roles were his new apprenticeship, a public learning process where he could hone his craft and test the waters of a different kind of performance. This transition, however, presented the greatest professional challenge of his early career. The very image that had made him a star, the little son persona, now threatened to become a gilded cage. To the public and many in the industry, he was a pop idol first and foremost. The challenge was to be seen as more, to be taken seriously as an actor capable of conveying complex emotions and inhabiting diverse characters. He had to prove that his talent had depth beyond the polished routines of a music video. This required a conscious effort to break out of the box the market had built for him. It meant moving beyond the archetype of the cheerful, handsome romantic interest and seeking out roles that offered more substance. It was a quiet, gradual battle against perception, fought on film sets and in casting rooms. He had to demonstrate that the charisma that captivated a live concert audience could be translated into a nuanced, believable performance on screen. The difficulty lay in convincing a world that knew him as a bright, smiling pop star that he also possessed the gravity and skill of a serious, dramatic actor. This struggle to redefine himself would ultimately set the stage for the next, most pivotal chapter of his career, a move that would take him away from the familiar pop scene of Taiwan and into the vast, burgeoning landscape of mainland China. The turn of the millennium marked a significant shift in the landscape of Chinese-language entertainment. While Taiwan's pop scene had been the vibrant center of youth culture, the economic and cultural gravity was undeniably moving toward mainland China. A vast, new audience was emerging, and with it, a television and film industry flush with investment and ambition. For Wallace Chung, staying in Taiwan would have meant competing in an increasingly crowded and shrinking market. The future was on the mainland, but it was a gamble. It meant leaving behind the comfort of established fame, where he was a beloved figure, and starting over in a new environment where he was not the famous little son, but just another actor from Hong Kong trying to make his mark. He made the move, embracing the challenge with a quiet determination that would come to define his career. The early years in China were not a story of instant stardom, but of methodical, steady work. He immersed himself in the world of mainland television drama, a medium that was vastly different from the pop idol-centric projects of his past. He took on a wide array of roles, often in the historical and martial arts genres that were wildly popular with mainland audiences. This was a deliberate strategy to build a new foundation for his career, one based not on a catchy song, but on screen presence and acting chops. He learned to adapt, mastering the nuances of performing for a different cultural audience and working within a larger, more complex production system. With each role, he chipped away at the old idol persona, replacing it with the image of a versatile and dedicated actor. He was building a new reputation from the ground up, one project at a time, earning the respect of directors, fellow actors, and slowly, a massive new viewership. For over a decade, this was his focus. He became a familiar and welcome face in households across China, a reliable leading man who brought a unique blend of intensity and sensitivity to his characters. Then, in 2015, the culmination of all that hard work arrived in the form of a single television series, My Sunshine. The show was not just a hit, it was a cultural tidal wave. It was a modern romance that captivated the nation, and at its heart was Wallace's portrayal of the brooding, devoted lawyer, Hye Yikin. The character became the romantic ideal for millions. His performance was a masterclass in understated emotion, conveying years of pain and unwavering love, often with just a look. My Sunshine shattered online viewership records and catapulted Wallace to an entirely new stratosphere of fame. He was no longer just a popular actor. He was a national icon, the undisputed king of the television romance. The long, arduous journey from Taiwanese pop idol had reached its destination. He had conquered the mainland and proven, beyond any doubt, that he was a formidable dramatic actor. It was at this absolute peak of his professional success, when his public adoration was at its highest, that his private life was thrust violently into the spotlight. In the same year that he became a national obsession for his role in My Sunshine, the paparazzi struck. Photos emerged from Thailand, grainy but clear enough to cause an immediate firestorm. The pictures showed Wallace with a woman, soon identified as his long-term stylist, Rita Xie, and a young girl. The implication was explosive. The media and the public went into a frenzy. Was Wallace Chung, the nation's bachelor ideal, secretly a husband and father? The rumor mill churned with ferocious speed, piecing together timelines and past associations. Tabloids ran speculative headlines, and social media platforms lit up with debate and analysis. For an actor who had so carefully cultivated a career based on his on-screen work, this intrusion was a jarring violation. The public that had just fallen in love with his fictional character was now clamoring to know every detail about his real life. Faced with this intense scrutiny, Wallace made a decision that would define his relationship with the public for years to come. He chose silence. He did not issue a tearful confession, a vehement denial, or a carefully worded explanation. He and his team adopted a strict and unwavering policy. They would not comment on his private life. In interviews, when reporters tried to steer the conversation toward the rumors, he would skillfully deflect with a polite smile and guide the topic back to his work. This refusal to engage was its own kind of statement. It was a clear drawing of a boundary, an insistence that his personal life was not part of the product he was selling to the public. This silence, however, did not quell the curiosity. Instead, it transformed a fleeting scandal into an enduring mystery. In the absence of facts, speculation flourished. The secret family narrative became an inseparable part of his celebrity persona. Every public appearance was scrutinized for clues. His steadfast refusal to confirm or deny the story became a challenge to the media and a point of fascination for the public. This persistent controversy became the primary difficulty of this era. He was living a paradox, a public figure beloved by millions for the emotions he displayed on screen, who simultaneously maintained an impenetrable fortress around his own heart, creating a mystique that only deepened the public's fascination. Entering the late 2000s and 10s and moving into the new decade, Wallace Chung transitioned into a new phase of his career. He was no longer the newcomer or the recently crowned ratings king. He was now a veteran star, a respected elder statesman of the television drama world. His position as a top-tier leading man remained secure, cemented by his consistent work in major productions. He continued to helm sweeping historical dramas and beloved romances, such as The High-Stakes Period, Peace General and I, and the beautifully crafted domestic drama The Sword and the Brocade. These projects demonstrated his enduring appeal and his ability to draw massive audiences, proving that his popularity was not a fleeting phenomenon, but a lasting bond built over years of dedicated work. He had achieved a level of stability and respect that few actors ever reach. Yet, this elevated status did not grant him immunity from controversy. It merely changed the nature of the challenges he would face. The first major difficulty of this era was markedly different from the persistent rumors about his family. It was darker and more malicious. In late 2019, a series of ugly rumors began to circulate on social media, alleging that Wallace was suffering from a severe relapse of anxiety due to immense stress. These whispers escalated into dangerous and defamatory claims that he had even attempted self-harm. Unlike the speculation about his personal life, which he had consistently met with silence, this was a direct assault on his character and mental well-being. The response, therefore, was dramatically different. The passive defense was replaced by a swift and powerful counterattack. His legal team immediately issued a formal public statement. It vehemently denied the rumors, stating unequivocally that he was in good physical and mental health and had never suffered from the alleged conditions. The statement went further, warning that they had already collected evidence and would not hesitate to pursue legal action against the individuals and platforms responsible for fabricating and spreading the false information. It was a clear, unambiguous message. While his private life was off limits for discussion, his reputation and health were not open to attack. This decisive action effectively shut down the damaging narrative, showcasing a different strategy for a different kind of threat. As he continued to navigate his career in an increasingly online world, another, more modern form of scrutiny emerged. In early 2022, after an appearance on a popular variety show, the internet zeroed in on his face. In countless screenshots and video clips shared across social media, netizens began to dissect his appearance, with many commenting that his face looked swollen and stiff. This ignited a firestorm of speculation about cosmetic procedures, with armchair experts debating what work he might have had done. While not a scandal in the traditional sense, it was a potent example of the relentless, microscopic scrutiny that veteran stars endure in the high-definition era. Every line, every expression, every subtle change in appearance is subject to a global referendum. For an actor long considered one of the industry's most handsome leading men, this intense focus on his aging process represented a new and unavoidable difficulty. The public pressure to remain ageless and the unforgiving judgment that comes with any perceived failure to do so. Alongside these more dramatic challenges, there were also quieter, more persistent professional critiques. Throughout his career on the mainland, he had occasionally faced minor criticism regarding his accent. As a native of Hong Kong, his Mandarin is fluent, but carries the distinct cadence of his hometown. For some purist viewers, particularly in historical dramas that demand a sense of classical authenticity, this accent was seen as a flaw. It was a subtle but recurring hurdle, a reminder of the evolving expectations of the massive mainland audience. This type of critique was not a scandal that threatened his career, but rather a persistent professional nuance that he had to navigate, a testament to the fact that even after decades of success, an artist is always subject to the subjective tastes and standards of their audience. Through all these evolving challenges, from malicious rumors to aesthetic judgments, Wallace Chung has remained a constant and resilient presence, continuing to focus on his craft while adapting his response to the ever-changing pressures of modern stardom. Wallace Chung's journey is a masterclass in career longevity and quiet resilience. He navigated the treacherous shift from teen idol to serious actor, built an empire in a new country, and weathered storms that would have capsized many others. From persistent rumors about his family to direct attacks on his health, he met each challenge with a calculated response, either stoic silence or swift legal action. Today, he remains a respected veteran, a testament to the power of focusing on the work above the noise. His story proves that in the world of fame, the greatest performance can be the one lived off-screen. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.